Just so we can really see what you're up to.
Really see what you're up to, and I do it a lot as well because I like it when I want to see, and I want to see it with my elevation. Yeah, so I'm using over my fingers to see it. When I start to pull it a little bit higher, I can get good tension and see my line very clearly. As you can see, I've worked clean. There's not really any distortions in the line at all, and this is pretty much due to the fact that I'm using my comb tension throughout.
I think I hear you say a lot, Andy, actually.
Yeah.
That you're using your comb to create the tension, not your fingers.
Yeah.
Really important with this type of hair, or something you do in general?
It's just something I always do, really. I think for me, you know, providing you've got really good, healthy comb, which has got, you know, which is in really perfect condition, this will create a perfect even tension for you. You know, I think a lot of people, when they get a little bit, oh God, you know, pull their hair and stuff, I think you're creating a bit of an uneven tension sometimes. You're getting that kind of unevenness between the fingers, because you've got that muscle where it's a little bit more released than the other parts. So I'm going to work over my disconnection first. I'm going to work over my fingers. Now I'm not taking very much off this shape. I've got to be honest with you. This shape's short enough already. So I'm going to work by taking the top point, which is the shortest point, and cut that and work that slightly rounded. It's going to leave the body within the top of the shape. Elevating high. This will maintain length through the bottom. Now this is the left-hand side's cut very slightly different to the right. Elevate higher again. Following my guide. Now working into the back. Now this is a diagonal back section, which means that this is directing the weight towards behind the left ear. So I'm drawing my weight away from the front. Again, elevating out from the head. You can see it's very little coming off now. Not disturbing my shape too much, making sure I've still got that little bit of hair behind the ears. And there's going to be less and less coming off as well. I'm not going to elevate so high, I'm going to leave the body within the shape underneath. There you go, you can see that now, see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, literally dust coming off.
Dusting that, just dusting it now, making sure it's perfectly clean. Like I say, very little. So it's maintaining the shape I previously had in the haircut. Now, I'm going to cross-check that before I go anywhere else.
Sorry guys, it's the Steadicam playing up today. Second time it's just dropped out, but cross-checking there, Andy?
Just cross-checking, going the opposite way that I've worked, making sure that my line is perfect.
Edison says, looking good, thanks, and George Foley says, looking great, guys.
Thank you, George.
Morning, George.
We've got an exciting week coming up this week. We've got the British Hairdressing Awards finals. on Monday,
You go over and I'll move around.
which is really exciting. You see we've finalised for the artistic team again. We're in 4 categories actually this year. Got some of, I'm going to give a bit of a shout out to some of our younger team members. Have done a really good job. First of all, Michael Rackett for finalising for newcomer. Congratulations and good luck. Got alongside Michael, we've got Sophie Chandler. Sophie Chandler's finalised for newcomer as well. And I think it has a really good reflection on the way that we work with our youngsters, because I think, you know, to have 2 in newcomer, with 1 actually newcomer 3 times.
Yeah.
To have that kind of, you know, structure going through the business where our youngsters are really doing quite well, not only in BHA but in other things, it's a good sign. It means what we're doing in education really works.
And actually, Andy, really nice, but both of these 2 that were newcomers were assistants, went through their training program completely with Rush, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Which is fantastic. A quick question here from Andrew Plester.
Go on, Andrew.
Andrew says, when you talk about using your comb to create retention, is it when would you use the wide size and when do you use the fine size?
Yeah, it's a really good question. I mean, it really is, the only answer is if you want less tension, you use the wide end. And so you don't want to put too much stress on there. So you're doing a 1 length, you might use the fine end at the bottom, and then as the head, you don't want to put so much stress as you go up the head, because you don't want obviously that jump. You then would go to the wide end. That's a good example. It's when you want to put less stress on the hair.
So here, where you're cutting to a more graduated shape, or layered now.
Layered now.
Sorry.
That's
You're
okay.
going to be using the finer end of your...
Still using the fine end, but I'm not pulling the hair and stretching it too hard. I'm allowing the comb to feed into my fingers and then cut the line. Now I've worked a short to long, and I've worked a vertical short to long, which means changing the shape by going vertical, 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 vertical. I want there symmetry on the internal balance. I want there to be symmetry on the top 2 parts of the hair.
Yeah.
Okay, that's very important, because those 2 parts of the hair are my silhouette, yeah, my outline shape when it's finished, and that's my support system for the top. So it's obviously really, really important that those areas are in symmetry. Everything else can be a little bit twisted.
Chris Christos does Amazing Academy.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
You been here yet, Chris?
Give the answers.
He's probably just going running to his client now.
You might well be.
As I'm moving through, each section's being halved, and I'm moving on to my next one. Just going to turn here for the guys who want to
Yeah,
turn
no, that's
around
cool.
here.
I'll come around this side.
Thank you. Now each section just over directing onto the previous.
Jessie says, lovely watching the master at work.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm literally now just going to over direct forward onto until I run out of hair. Which is happening now.
Yeah. There's only a couple of sections through there, isn't it, really?
Yeah. And now that starts to come into the back area, same as the other side did.
So you can actually see quite a difference between those 2 sides, Diane.
100%.
Yeah, really kind of quite different shape. They started with the same technique.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, one's taken vertical, one's taken diagonal back.
Yeah.
So you're going to get two completely different feelings to the look.
Rick Roberts says he loves your ring, and
I won't say I love your ring as well. That means we get together. We'll end up as a couple. So let's tidy this up. So just before I move on, I'm going to check the back again, just to graduate this up. I'm going to then dry the hair off. But before I do that, the sides, I just want to make sure I take those sides down to the correct line. So I think they're a little bit too long at the moment. This is beautiful, the back line. The balance is great, isn't it, guys? Got a really nice shape coming here.
Sorry, we've got Socolette says loving the clips, haha. And Rick also enjoying your banter.
So, I'm now going to elevate this shape. I've got to control how much I take out here, so I'm going to really scoop this. There's my point. I'm not connecting it fully, obviously, otherwise I'd lose the side. So I'm now obviously elevating up. Now I just want to loosen a bit of weight out, just because at the moment, for me, last time, I want it to sit a little bit more layered through this side. I want it to loosen up a bit. That's better. Just by putting a bit of layering into that now, it's going to create a bit more of a jump.
Yeah.
Perfect.
You can see that really moving there.
A bit better now. The opposite side, exactly the same. Going to work from the front. Elevate the hair up. Sorry, Krishna. Turning my fingers and working into the length.
Really nice, Ed.
And that's just so, it just loosens it. I'm not going to cut the hairline away today. I like this looseness on the hairline.
So Socolette is asking quickly, what does the elevating do, Andy? Why do you chose to elevate that?
That's a really good question. First of all, it'll flatten. So whenever you elevate very high, it's going to flatten your shape. But most of all, I want to protect this area. So obviously by lifting here and working out into that line, my length is retained.
Cool. Hope that answers your question, Socolette. Let us know if you've got any more questions. And guys, if you do have questions, please post them in the comments box. I'll ask them to Andy, or if they're colour related, I'll do my best to answer themselves. And also, if you're tuned in, if you're watching, enjoying what you're seeing, please like, please share. We would like to share the education with as many people as we can. Socolette says thanks, sweet, basically.
Perfect. So I'm going to literally just dry the bottom of the hair off first. Just very lightly.
And Socolette's watching from New Zealand.
Ah!
Hello, New Zealand.
Hello.
What time is it over there?
Must be about midnight.
Yeah, it must be. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to get an audience that far away. We've got Sandra from Calcutta. Hi, ma'am.
Hey, man.
Hope you're doing good. Oh.
All I'm doing at the moment, I'm just drying the back off, just to its natural position.
Rich says, lovely shape, Anne.
Thank you.
He said, beautiful shape, that I translate. So you're not using a nozzle here, Andy?
No, I'm just going very free with it.
Yep.
Not putting too much stress on the hair, just drying it off into its natural position.
And I know you've not put any product on now, but you did use a little bit of product when you were sectioning off, didn't you?
I used List Control this morning. List Control was the hair product I used, which is a control free from L'Oreal, which isn't hasn't got too much tackiness to it or anything like that. It's very soft and easy to work with as a cutter, which is the products I like. Can't stand anything that dries up, anything that's got alcohol in.
Yeah.
For me, it's something that really needs to be.
And Andy, you've got a couple more hellos. You've got a hello from Amanda from Nova Scotia, and Priya from Chennai is saying hello.
Hello, man.
Priya, is that your daughter? She in your picture, she looks beautiful.
It is my picture. It is.
No, sorry, I'm talking to Priya.
Oh, sorry.
She's got new baby in the photo.
Oh, congratulations.
You've also got Bido saying perfect shape, man, looks great. Priya says wow, that looks cool. And Duda Stang says nice. Thanks, guys.
So I'm now starting to work the outline into the shape. First of all, I've used the axis of the scissor and club cut the hair. Now I'm using the tips and I'm just going to natural fall and just pointing the hair.
Andy,
Yes, please.
you know how like the V shape was already there when you started cutting?
Yeah.
If you didn't have it, would you have cut a shape before she dried? Or would you have dried everything with just...
I would have. It's a really, really good question. It's a really good question coming from. What's your name, darling?
Sabrina.
Sabrina. It's a great question. I would always dry the hair off when you do an outline. Yeah. On anything like this. One, it gives you more control. Two, you can see everything, all the movement coming out in the hairline, the position, but also you can see the way the hair's kind of adjusting as you dry. So I would always work my outlines in a lot more of a kind of drier process.
Yeah.
How do we get balance? Is something. Always think about your body position. You know where you position yourself to create the line you want to create, which I think is really important. So if I wanted to create an A-line, I'd have to position myself parallel with the section and a lot more box-like. With a rounded shape, I position myself a lot more on the side of the shape, so I'm coming through to the sides, using the point of the hairline as your guide. So your initial cut is your length, and then you always have to visualise where you want that line to end, and you need to curve that line into that point. And the only way you can do that is by using the correct body positioning.
It's been great. You've got a couple more comments as well. We've got JB Monty says hey from Melbourne.
Hey man.
We've got a little bit of banter going on between the Kiwis and the Australians as well on here.
There we go. No sheep involved yet, I hope.
None yet.
Good.
And Gurbit Singh says too neat, man.
So, we'll work from the opposite side now. Thinking about my starter point.
Rick Roberts signing off. He's got to go and do his client.
Oh, bye Rick. I love the fact that people, kind of tuning in for that little bit of education, or just an idea, or just to, kind of collaborate with another creative. Because I think, Rick's an amazing hairdresser, and I think he's just a guy who kind of just likes to collaborate with other creatives. It's so cool the fact that Facebook you can do that. You can kind of zone in, and then do your bit of zoning out, come back, watch the end later. Perfect. He's a genius.
We've got Leanne Burnett now tuned in from Blackpool.
Hello, Leanne.
I've got a quick question about your hair being soft. They're asking what shampoo and conditioner you'd recommend here, Andy.
On this hair, I mean, it's fine. So I'd either go with a volume active, you know, if she wanted like lots of lift and lots of movement. But it has got a natural movement to it. But I would, on Krishna's hair, looking at the texture, because we use Kerastars, so I definitely use the green range, which is more of a kind of, more of a lighter shampoo,
Yeah.
rather than anything too heavy. The moisture here would just weigh this hair down.
You've got Mattis as well, said, hi from Argentina. The shape of the neck cut is a trend, or is it from the shape of, based on the shape of Krishna's neck?
Both. A little bit of both. I mean, for me, I'm lengthening her neck here by doing this.
Yeah.
You know, so it's all about creating a flattering look.
Getting that sort of slightly slimmer shape.
Yeah. And you're opening her up, you know, you're kind of opening her neckline up, making her look longer and more elegant. And also, whenever you're working with these shapes, you're opening the jawline as well. Everything's being kind of released and open. And for me, also another point which I'll talk about, is when you're cutting these rounder lines, round for me is always more feminine.
Yeah.
You know, flat and square is almost more masculine. So I'm always trying to working with key features and making her look as good as I can. But you see,
guys, I hope that answers your question.
You do see a lot of this shape though, so I can understand what you mean by that. But it is the natural shape of her hairline we're working with. So now as the hair's dry, I'm starting to work with a little bit of scissor over comb, just through the nape area. I'm going to go with the tension now, go with the fine end of the comb. Just make sure it's all really clean and balanced. Neck trimmers, is that alright? The one thing I think I did forget this morning, I do apologise.
Still pretty good. So JB Monty says, would you vary this shape, or could you use a variation of this shape on a heavier built woman, or would you recommend going for a slightly different shape in the nape?
That's a really good question. That's a really good question. I think sometimes when you get the neckline and it's too wide, and you do the shape, it sometimes does make the neck look bigger.
Yeah.
So I do actually completely agree with you, because I think you probably knew the answer already, because the question was slightly loaded. But I would always work with a slightly, maybe a softer line, and kind of cover that a little bit more. Or work with more of an A-line, do you know what I mean? Where you're working slightly more and you're protecting and covering that area a little bit more.
Yeah.
Wouldn't allow you to go that short. Because I do completely agree with you. If you put this shape on someone with a really wide neck, it doesn't look right. It just looks. You're kind of almost emphasising a bad feature.
No, I think you've got to work obviously with your client, haven't you?
Everything's about working bespoke and working with your client.
And guys, if you've got questions, also if you've got questions, you've got answers, if you want to comment, please keep posting it for us in the comments box below. We love the interaction. It's great to know you guys are all out there. So please, please partake. Please join in the conversation in the comments.
Plug in for me if that's all right, hon. Thank
We've
you.
got Juan Francisco from Frontal in Spain.
Oh man, how you doing? So I've gone into the hairline very slightly. You can see she's got a bit of neck hair, so I'm going to have to remove that just to clean the shape up a little bit. But at the moment I'm just working my points of my scissor and just chiseling that line, making sure it sits very flat for Krishna. Krishna? I got my name right, Krishna. Bloody hell, I got my name.
Karen Alcaz says you're chipping away the line and then blunt cutting it is that undoing what you've just done?
Not really, no, because I've kind of chipped away, flattening the line,
Yeah.
and then if I see a little bit of grad, I can kind of just nick that away.
So yeah, I think what you're not seeing there, he's just, when he's doing it, he's literally just getting the very underneath the shape. He's not coming into the top line.
Not changing it, yeah.
And JB Monty says obviously it's about kind of talking to your client about shape. So they, if they did ask for this kind of hairline, it wasn't going to suit them, that they wouldn't be sort of too disappointed.
100%.
We've also got Tina just tuned in from Hawaii saying aloha.
Aloha!
And a quick question from Christos. Are you still doing the presentation on Monday?
Yes, I am. I am. You're still coming. Perfect. So rubbing the clippers up in just underneath the line, not affecting the initial line. We held an amazing event here on Monday night. This was covering 2 of the fellowships of British Hairdressing. 2 groups, one being Project X and one being the Colour Project. And Chris was heading it up for the Colour Project. How did it go? I was unable to attend, it was my birthday.
You could have come, man.
I know, I could have come, but it was my birthday.
Yeah.
True, actually.
I love that. I was unable to attend, it was my birthday. I went out instead.
Yeah, you did.
No, I know you had your daughter over. But yeah, we had a really amazing event. We've got a few people here just coming on. We've got Moses Smith from Sydney. Somebody else from Sydney. Sorry, I missed your comment a second ago. Deborah Craven saying lovely cut. The neck hair will grow back super quick, so don't be shocked. Great to see an inspirational shape. But yeah, on Monday night we had an amazing event here. Actually, we did stream the event live on the Fellowship Facebook page. We had a Rush Fellowship in Facebook takeover on Monday night. So our guys were streaming it live. So if you did want to see any of the looks from Monday night, it was a fantastic event from all of the Project X guys led by Kai Wan and the Colour Project guys that I've been working with throughout the year. They did some amazing looks, some amazing hair from some of the stuff they'd learned from their mentors. But go onto the Facebook page, the Fellowship Facebook page, and have a look, watch the video. There was 2 hours of demonstrations and some incredible work. We've got Tons from New Zealand as well. She says, I can see she's got quite fine hair. Is this cut transferable to working with thicker hair as well, Andy?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. I mean, all you need to do is whenever you're working with thicker to finer hair, adjust your sections. If I was working with thicker hair, I might take a slightly higher section. I might take it shorter through the sides. But at the end of the day with Krishna, this exact haircut could be done on thicker hair. Because I've taken it quite strong already. You can see it really works. But at the end, when I wave it, all I'm going to do is literally just blow dry it with the diffuser.
Fantastic.
And just put a really nice natural texture into it. And it's going to create a really, really nice shape. A really flattering shape. So let's get back to this point what I'm doing here. Started in the middle, and I'm working with a round line. Obviously where Krishna's hair slightly finer, I'm going to build a little bit more of a curve into the line.
Yep.
Just working through each section, 2 coming back to 1, 3 to 2, 4 to 3. So I'm just working this way.
And then Karen says, please dust the neck down. So I'm going to, Karen, just quickly do that.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Karen.
We can see that.
I do apologise, I'm so naughty there, sorry about that.
Sorry, Krishna. Make sure you're all dusted off. There we go.
It's true, isn't it? We're so... I'm such a naughty boy. I actually went to 40 Towers experience at the weekend. And I can remember that sketch where Basil Fawlty says, "You're a naughty boy, Sybil. Don't do it again." I feel a bit like that now. Sorry. So 4 coming back to 3, 5 coming back to 4.
Just kind of over directing back to the previous.
Just so we get a nice parallel line, which is going to be square. So we're working round vertically and square horizontally. Thanks, Chris, helping me out now. Yay, look at you.
We've got like camera in one hand and duster in the other now.
You're a good man. So we've got these corners now dropping over the underneath shape. Beautiful. Before I move on, check my line. Perfect.
Looking good.
It's a good line. It's a nice strong line. Opposite side now. I like to work a push and pull technique, which means from the centre, on the left hand side, I push my sections into the middle, onto the previous, should we say, because I'm not working into the middle. So I always keep my body position on the same side, so my finger position doesn't change. And I can work very static. I don't need to move around too much, which always makes my life a little bit easier.
Yep. So a quick question here as well, and Joy Skinner says, could you work this shape on curly hair?
Yeah, this will be great for curly hair. This will be fantastic for curly hair. Whenever you think about curls, you think about one line and you think about a line number 2. So when I talk about disconnection, one line is being the underneath, being graduated. The next line on top is going to be layered and not connected to the line. Whenever you do that, you create movement.
Yeah.
And you're working with curly hair, which is movement hair. You're actually enhancing and creating. Now, also, the other thing you're doing is closing some parts of the shape away, like the underneath is being closed in. The top is being expanded out. Therefore, you're going to create more shape. So yes, on curly hair, it would work amazingly.
You got a couple more comments. We've got Sandy from Australia says, can you open it up and finish? She wants to go to sleep.
Thanks, Sandy. I'm not keeping you up, babe, you know what I mean? Not necessarily, you think I am.
And a quick question about what kind of colour we'd recommend for this sort of shape.
Well, we did put a colour on it today, but she wanted a global, so we've kind of worked. What would you say about that, Chris?
I mean, yeah, Christian's actually got very always had sort of natural hair. It's the first time she's ever had any colour this morning. We've just used a chromative from L'Oreal Professional. We've got a fantastic partnership here at Rush. I've just used a chromative which is a semi-permanent colour. It's going to last her about sort of 10 shampoos, just to really give a nice gloss and a nice shine on it. But I think with this kind of cut and this kind of shape, you know, the natural colour is fantastic, the condition's amazing. A little bit of soft balayage just through some of those disconnected areas would work really, really well to bring out the texture in the shape. But you know, sometimes less is more, isn't it?
Sometimes it is, mate. Yeah, I think you know, it's all about how, you know, what your client's perspective is. You know, what does she do for a living? You know, what's she into as well.
Karen says, if it was really curly hair, you'd have to be a little bit careful with this kind of shape.
You'd leave the top layers longer.
Yeah.
Because they would shrink more.
I think it's one of those things, isn't it? This sort of would work on curly hair, but not necessarily really thick, really coarse curly hair, or that sort of thing. Andy, is that?
It would, no, it would.
It would work, yeah. Yeah. I think it's the shape you're kind of going for, isn't it? You've got to kind of bear in mind. Any technique can work any sort of texture. It's just what the end result's going to look very, very different, isn't it?
100%.
Laura just asking another question. She says the young lady you're working on is beautifully slim, but would this style work on someone with a chubby face?
A longer version of it, yes. You've got to remember what I'm doing here. I'm slimming the sides down underneath. So when I'm working that way, I'm elongating the hair. So I'm elongating the shape.
Yeah.
So I would slim her down. Obviously, you know, there are varying degrees of that. It's a very tricky question. I'd have to see, you know, what we were talking about. And each, like you say, each haircut you do, it was spoken to that person.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So you look at their face shape, even someone with a rounder face shape, you know, you can slim it in a certain way and leave a bit more length and make them look slimmer. So,
Johnny,
ways.
sorry Andy, Johnny Keeney says, stunning work as always. How long would you say a haircut like this would last? 4 to 6 weeks or longer? And what scissors are you using?
I'm using Wings today. Wing scissors, I love them. Really nice. I use a very small blade, I use a 5-inch blade. Just to give me a lot of control. That's how I like to work. I like a nice point on my scissor as well, which gives me a lot more detail in my work as well.
Yeah.
It would last any time from, you know, I always recommend my clients come back 6 to 8 weeks for a maintenance cut. This will grow out amazing. You know, I'm not funny. It will grow into a different shape,
yeah.
But it will grow out amazing. You know, so you could leave it 10 weeks and it would grow into something else, which I think is quite cool.
Min Fu says she doesn't need slimming.
I didn't say you did.
None of us said she did, babe. I'm sure Chris is not offended by anything we said. Anish just says hi. Jason Murray said she's just thinking, damn, get on with it. I've got stuff to do. For some reason, while hiding behind her fridge, it says here.
Yeah. I'm going to apply some Wallace control to the top of the head first.
Polish Khan says hi. Somebody else says hi.
Hello.
And Polish says wow also. So some nice comments coming through there.
Listen, it's not. Whenever we've got to work on this, you know, this kind of Facebook Live thing, I think. Remember, everything I do is going to always be objective. It's never going to please everybody. I think that's always the one thing we have to remember. And I think whenever we're doing anything creative or anything a little bit that's outside the box a little bit, it's either going to open someone's mind into thinking I can do that and change it into something else, or you're going to think it's not for me. At the end of the day, that's fine.
Yeah.
Everyone's opinion, you're entitled to it. And I think it's a good thing to have an opinion, obviously. But all we're trying to do is share our ideas and what we love and what we're into, and just give it away and just share it with people. You know, I don't think it's you know, we're not here to change the world or create a different planet. We're literally here just to give a little bit of love, give a little bit of our kind of passion, our philosophy away for free. Really, that's all we're doing.
Yeah, 100%. You got a hello from Indonesia there, so I missed your name. Quick question though, that we was sort of missed. When you cut the top, the back and the front, are they connected or are they disconnected?
They're connected. They're connected, so I worked everything back to the line and connected the back in. The front hairline was dropped away, so that was disconnected. The very front was slightly dropped away. Then I worked from the front into the back, yeah? But the very hairline I dropped away and disconnected. You can see these long pieces. They're kind of left and away. Yeah, don't mind, Chris, that's brilliant.
Yeah. I'm coming in there. I'm being all things now. Cameraman, cleaner.
Cameraman, compare. You know,
loads of people saying hi as well. We've got Anise Button saying good morning. Joyce Sims says good morning. Shine Terry says looks great. Rosalind Lusser, awesome cut. Karen, can I recommend the crown area to chip out a little bit?
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Listen, I'm going to dry it off first though. Have a look at see what's happening. Because I think what I want to do first, I remember her hair's quite fine. I don't want to thin anything out on it. I could soften into the corners, but I want to dry it first. See how the shape adjusts.
Yeah. Cara says she's got her long hair, Cara Board says she's got her long hair cut this short just a few weeks ago, and she's absolutely loving it. It's so freeing. So guys, please cut your hair short. The model looks gorgeous, and it's a beautiful cut, Andy.
Thank you.
Amstel Prince, hello from the natural island of Dominica. It's quite interesting the work you do to keep the area and creativity alive, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Also, just saw you putting the products on. Andy Kane's asking, sorry to put those products on, what is it you were using, Andy?
Good man.
And why?
I've initially used List Control. List Control's a control cream, nothing too heavy, nothing too sticky. Then I've built the hair with a bit of pleat to give a little bit of more, just a little bit more structure to the curl. So I've applied that through. So it's just going to give you that little bit of hold. It is a soft curl after, it's nothing too moussey or too crunchy.
Vicky Blackburn says she loves it. How can she get you to cut her hair, Andy?
You can see how much
I tell you what, if you go on our Academy page, you can contact us on there. We'll speak to you offline maybe later on. Thank goodness that was one of our clipboards getting smashed and not the iPad in the background, so don't panic. Lots of comments, wow, thank you, great job. A few in different languages I can't sound. I definitely like you to cut my hair, boy. Being a hairdresser, I've been doing my own since I was, since 2011.
You've been doing your own hair since 2000, so have I. That's exactly the same. We have it in common.
And Leanne Burnett says, how long was her hair before you started cutting it? Leanne, we're going to post this video at the end of it, so you'll be able to watch it back on our Facebook page. You'll be able to like it, you'll be able to share it. So if you'd like to see the whole cut from the beginning, you'll be able to see it then. She's not had loads of, she already had relatively short hair. It's been a bit of a sort of, you know, just a tidy up and a subtle change in shape today, really.
Yeah.
Hasn't it, Andy?
Subtle. See, we've just done Rush Live, and what we're doing at the moment is kind of, with this part of the year, kind of re-releasing it through, re-releasing the collection Tomboy through the internet.
Yeah.
Some of the techniques we did, some of the ideas we did, so we're using some of the same models we used in the show. We're kind of recreating them, recutting them, restructuring them a little bit. We're having a lot of fun. You know, I think any collection, when it releases, you're going to get a little bit of, where it changes in little bits of directions. So everything's going to be that little bit fresh. You can see she's got a bit of a curl to her hair. Have a look in the mirror now for me. See what I'm doing.
Let's look at that. Okay, it's all in the mirror. I feel like Michael Rackett. This is the three of us now posing in the mirror, guys.
Oh my God, yeah.
Hi from Queenstown, New Zealand. Loving your work and creativity. Keep sharing, guys. Guys, we are going to keep sharing every week. The same time, about between 10 and 10:30, we're going to go live every Wednesday with something different. Whether it's going to be cutting, whether it's going to be cutting, we'll be posting up in advance, so you know what we're going to be doing. Next week, hopefully a fantastic hair up, our editorial director, Tina Fari. So, you know, that's going to be amazing to watch, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, it's brilliant. Brilliant at what she does. Just that little bit of movement to the hair now, you can start to see it come in. Just going to apply a little bit of what we call sea salt to the hair. A little bit of, God, I always get this wrong.
Beach waves down that one.
Bloody, I always go mad here.
One of your favourite products that
My
you use
favourite
all the
product, which
time.
I never ever remember the name of. Just gives me a bit more separation, a little bit more structure.
And Andy, you've gone for a lovely sort of wavy finish there. Would this sort of style work straight also?
Yes. I was going to do it straight today, and then Krista said, "Please don't," because she's going out, and
she
got
likes that
way.
wave.
Yeah, she likes the wave in her hair. And to be honest with you, with fine hair like this, which is quite fine, I think the trick is to try and make it look thicker. You know, and we can either tong it, but what we don't want to do is kind of like kill everything out of it, and kind of flatten it all. I think that's not doing her any favours whatsoever. What do you think, guys? You like the shape?
You've got Levy Chand again, hi all the way from New Zealand, loving it. Liz Judge, she's 65, she loves it too. Levy Chand, it would look nice straight as well. Thanks, Levy. We definitely think it would also.
It will definitely work. And I don't really want to take too much out of that crown now looking at it.
No.
For me, it's jumped. It's kind of given what I needed. Obviously, I do normally, break into hair a lot and so on and so forth, when it needs it. On this particular haircut, I think where the hair is fine, it's so fine. I want to keep the structure in it. I don't think it needs that kind of weight taken out of it as much.
No, I think it's looking great, Andy.
The structure's great, I think. Sorry, my darling?
You say that you try, and then you're gonna see the weight. Or would you take the weight with the help?
Yeah. What you could do is use a bit of twist cutting there. You could start twisting the hair and working through, just kind of shatter the curls up a little bit. Twist it, slice it. But if the hair was thicker, yes, I would do that. Yeah. But where I've got, like I say, hair's quite fine, I want to leave as much bulk in the hair as possible.
Yeah.
I've layered the hair already, so the weights come down. What I don't need to do is start the kind of shattering and battering the shape up. I think having that added amount of weight is really working for it.
And Andy, we've got another comment, just Lloyd just loves the cut. He's come from Ponte Verde Beach in Florida.
Thank you, man. Really, thank you.
We've got a hi from Romania, from Floriana. And Carol and Goldie says, love it.
Thank you, man. So the curly hair's working today, which is good. I mean, I think, so many times what we do is we straighten stuff, we iron it these days because it's like everybody wants everything so neat. And I think these days the kind of like the natural curls are kind of dying off a little bit. Everyone's trying to make the natural curls with what we call messy dressing, isn't it really?
Yeah.
Kind of dressing there to make it look natural. Sometimes it's nice just to go natural and just see what the hair does and responds to. I think it's worked gorgeously.
Liz Chell says he's gifted, can we have him over in Ireland? Got a couple of people saying they're not keen on the shape, but obviously like Andy said, we try and do our best.
Can't please everybody.
We can't please everyone. Aaron says you go a little bit short on the crown. Again, totally open to individual opinion, and I think, you could do, but it would create a different shape. I'm loving what I'm seeing, Andy, personally. Was that a different product? Yes, it was a different product. Andy used two products when he was styling it. He used one. First one was Pli, wasn't it, Andy?
Yeah, Pli.
Pli, which gives a nice hold to the hair. Yeah. And the second one he used was Beach Waves, which is a salt spray by Laura Professional. Gives a really nice sort of textured look. So it's just kind of bringing that texture out. Now, just going in and doing a bit of refining, Andy.
Just refining through the crown. Just a little bit of freehand. Just to lift that crown a little bit higher. Randomly.
A couple of questions as well. Louise says, what is the best product for long blonde fine hair to add volume but not be too sticky?
Ooh, long blonde fine hair. Yeah?
Yeah.
I like Pli. I like Pli because purely you can build it. You can apply it on the hair. You can blow dry it in. You can reapply it. It's a product we do a lot of where we put it in, blow dry, reapply, blow dry, so you can never overload, which is the beautiful thing about it. So it's almost like a builder, if you like. And also I like volume lift.
Yeah, volume lift, great one.
Volume lift is a fantastic product for really fine hair.
From L'Oreal Professional, you can probably find it, in fact, on our Shop Rush website. If you are looking for it, go www.rush.co.uk, click on shop, you'll be able to find the products there. Also, can you recommend a shampoo for highlighted hair? I think there's lots of options when we talk about shampoos and conditioners for highlighted hair. I wouldn't want to recommend something without seeing your hair, but you know, we work with L'Oreal Professional, we work with Kerastase, both make fantastic products for these sorts of things. You know, and again, there's lots of options. If you contact us again offline or comment a little bit later on, we'll try and you know, make a recommendation for you.
So now, just by lifting that just a little bit, I'm going to apply a little bit of hairspray now. Please, today, this is Compulsion Sheen-Ups from the Wild Stylers range. It's not a classical hairspray, it's more of a texture spray.
And we've got Ellis Benton asking, will this hairstyle suit an oblong face? Oblong longer, I suppose? Sorry.
You might apply a little bit more width to the shape.
Yeah.
So I might not have taken the sides, might not have undercut the sides so much. So we get more of a kind of more width to it. You need expansion. If you've got a long face, you need that little bit of expansion to shorten the length of the hair.
Yeah. And sorry, someone said they missed what brand we're using. We're using L'Oreal Professional.
L'Oreal Professional, guys.
And this, Andy, is
Compulsion de Chignon.
Crepage de Chignon.
Oh, you said better than me, you sexy bastard.
We need Jeremy in here. Yeah, Crepage de Chignon, really nice kind of product, again, for that sort of texture from the Wild Styling range, isn't it, Andy?
Yeah, it's really cool. Just gives that bit more.
Tina saying great work. Philippa says she looks nice, great hairstyle. Chris, nice one, Andy. Levi Chad says thank you for the sharing. Guys, we're going to be sharing every week. Please tune in. If you like it, please let us know. Please share the work. Andy, recap what you've done. Looks incredible.
Thank you very much. Oh, God, thank you.
For these guys. Fabulous audience over here.
I'm going to just take Krista's gown off. Tidy her neck up. Where's the neck brush? Oh, where is that? Where's the neck brush? Chris.
Oh, sorry, it's in my hand, Andy, the neck brush.
Thank you, man.
Sorry, I'm trying to film you from over here now.
So, really simply, guys, we've started with a square shape, almost like a rectangular shape section, which we call a triple C, which curves, points her from the mastoid line, cuts across into the side, both sides isolated the top away, flat graduation through the back, as you can see, nice and clean, just worked in a triangular formation, working each section to the previous, building weight up behind the ears, then connected the sides in, then started from the front, working into the back. Then on the crown, round, through the front, short to long. And literally just broke up the top just a little bit afterwards. I hope you guys liked it. It's been a pleasure sharing with you again today. Hope to see you soon and enjoy. If I don't see you, enjoy your Christmas. Thank you.
Thanks, Andy. And guys, thank you to our audience. And like we said to you before, we're going to be live again next Wednesday at 10:30. So please tune in. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please like and share, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you very much.